good. I gotta
Val's
do it
gonna
this
be
way.
okay. All right. Just
It is.
it's Tuesday. It's the 11th, and we still here. We still here. Apparently, everything is going okay. There's no nuclear war yet. So, it's good.
Um,
It's all good.
I need you to
And then
okay.
more episodes of Atlanta coming up. So it's
Okay.
all good.
Yeah, so before we get to all that, we just gonna say, hey guys, welcome to Talk on Tuesday, and we'll be back right after this. Oh my gosh. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
All
Hey.
right. All right.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I think I'm saying it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome, guys, welcome to Interludes Extra presents Talk on Tuesdays. Let me give my little spiel real quick. And Interludes is we're streaming every Tuesday on our YouTube channel, our Facebook private group fan base. How you guys doing over there? Under LinkedIn. Hello to folks over in LinkedIn. And we are now available on Pod TV, the Roku channel. Also, if you'd like to
Roku
become a
channel.
sponsor, on our platform, book time with us at linktr.ee/Pure Light Media. And my graphics is moving a little bit slower right now, but yeah, just go ahead and follow us. And there you go. And I'll ask Mr. Springer, say hello to Mr. Springer.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Kevin, and I always love to say this. Interludes is celebrating. We've done over 100 episodes, Mr. Wamble. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Woo!
So that's what's happening with that. I see some folks are in the building. Thank you so very much, Mr. Springer, representing Brookland. What's up? My brother Ryan says hi. How you doing, Ryan? Good to talk to you. And I see Mr. Wise is here. Hello. Thank you.
Hello, fam in New York. I know that today in New York is a national holiday officially, of course.
It is?
It is today is the birthday of two of the greatest female rappers ever.
That would be MC Light and who else?
You got one of them. That's correct. It is MC Light's birthday. Light as a rock. I've been rocking MC Light all day long, and of course, the other one is the one, the only, the Cardi, the B.
Oh, Cardi B.
Yes,
Oh,
Cardi B
okay.
and MC Light share a birthday, and little else.
I did not know. Wow. So happy birthday to Cardi B and
Happy
to
birthday to
MC
MC
Light.
Light.
I
It's
know
funny.
who
And I was
looks
talking about
ageless. And
Uh,
she has been actively doing voiceover work for award shows. I love it when I see her work.
And I was thinking about her, Val, because in one of her very first videos, MC Light paper thin video, in there is your other play husband. He's in that video.
Wait, who's my play husband? I don't know what you're
So
talking
in
about.
the video, paper thin, she goes down. Remember, she goes down into the subway. I want to get out the car. She goes in the subway, and then she catches the guy cheating on her. But then she ends up the video walking around New York with his name is D Nice.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
And I saw the video last night. I'm like, that's Val's man. That's D Nice. He's with MC Light.
Oh my gosh.
Man, I'm gonna tell Val.
I have such a crush on D Nice. We need to talk about
a young D Nice too. I mean, he looks I guess he always looks nice because he's D Nice,
Yeah, well, hey, Hey.
And he's taking out suckers, and you don't know how he did it.
Oh my gosh, this the corn, the corn. I thought you held. I thought Kevin, Mr. Springer. I thought he held the space on corn, but that's not. It is also Mr. Wamble. He does
No,
the same
I
thing as well.
appreciate Kevin being here, especially with the fact that baseball season continues in New York. So I know his attention is slightly divided, this week going in. You know, who knew? I mean, I'll give them props. They New York, East Coast, they got baseball. They got baseball on lock, apparently. So good for them.
I know. So,
Cornfields are wide open.
we're gonna we're gonna we're gonna go to a different. We're gonna go to a different city. It's called Atlanta. We're gonna go to the city of Atlanta.
Okay, I like that place. It's very surreal there.
Yeah, it is. I am a fan. I don't know if anyone else. Oh, I see Ferdy's there. Hello. Hey Ferdy. And oh my goodness, the cornfields are wide open. Really? Really, Kevin?
Yeah,
Really?
they are. That's right. Because if you build it, they will come.
Uh
And the cornfields are wide open. Hey, party, what's up?
oh my gosh. Anyway,
What's up?
so I wanna definitely say this, Michael. I have to let everyone know. Mr. Womble lets me know, Valerie. Hey, remember we were checking out the third season of Atlanta. Well, now the last season, the final season of Atlanta, is now streaming on Hulu, but playing on
Man.
FX. And this amazing cast, head up by Donald Glover. Michael.
He looks a lot like Childish Gambino.
He is Childish Gambino.
He looks a lot like him. I mean, like, there's a striking resemblance. Remember that song? This is America.
Yeah, no.
Slipping up.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah,
looks like
yeah,
that
yeah,
dude.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
They
are
all
you guys
Carol, they
we're
all
gonna
look familiar. Let's keep that picture up for just a little bit longer.
okay.
When this show started out, it's like, what cast is this? Who are these people? But now,
Mhm.
going left to right, you got the guy that was in the movie with Brad Pitt, Bullet Train, that
Mhm.
was also in the Marvel movie, right?
Mhm.
And right next to him is the woman that was in the DC movie, right?
Oh, and
She
then
was
she was
there with
also wait, and she was also in the one with Regina King, the Western that came on, uh,
The Harder
the
They Fall,
Western, The Harder They Fall. Mhm.
right? And then on the right, you got the guy that went to, I'll never forget that. Hey man, hey brother, and he's like, from Get Out. It's like that's that dude from Get Out who was also in the movie with the horse. If y'all know what movie I'm talking about, then you know. The movie with the horse at the end,
Oh my
the dude
gosh.
with the
And
horse head, and
so
then
we're
and then he almost, he tried to get Fred Hampton. Like all these people now, Val, this cast is a very distinguished cast. No wonder
okay,
they had to wrap this show up. How could they continue with that cast? That's an amazing cast right there.
so let me do this very
Didn't start
quickly.
out that way.
Donald okay, so, Brian Tyree Henry, um, Zazie
Zazzy
Beetz
Beats, Zazzy
Zazie
Beats.
Beetz
Mhm.
Zazie Beetz, Donald Glover, and Lakeith Stanfield. So that is this each new episode has it's like its own situation. There is I feel like there's a mini movie happening, even though it is you know
Right.
it's a mini movie happening and everything. But the latest episode that recently aired was called what was the name of the
Work
episode?
ethic. Work.
Work ethic.
This was
Michael,
all
we
about one
need
of the greatest workers in film and television today.
yeah, I gotta come off of this. Good gracious. So, Alana, if you guys are not watching this, you guys are missing out on the shade of it all. the shade
Oh,
of it
the
all.
shade. Yeah. All
The
right.
shade of it all.
Double entendre there. Shade and
Mhm.
shade. Oh
Mr.
my goodness.
Chocolate. Who is Mr.
Kirk,
Chocolate?
Kirk, Kirk, Kirkland chocolate,
Yeah, who is Mr.
which is a
Kirtland
joke in and
Chocolate?
of itself. I mean, when you because that's Costco, right? Kirkland and that Costco.
I think so. I
It's
think
like there's so many layers to it.
I
So
know.
yeah, so hey, if you have seen any of the Atlanta season 4, let us know. Please let us know
Throw it
in
in
the
the chat.
chat. Let us know in the chat, especially if you saw the last one, which lampooned one of the biggest stars of television and film right now today. Somebody that at least I know I gave rare praise to only a couple of weeks ago. But Mr. Donald Glover and the Atlanta staff went after him. Woo! With a vengeance.
Guns Guns blazing.
Oh my
Guns
goodness.
blazing. So if you guys have not seen the latest
Oh,
episode, Work Ethic of Atlanta, if you don't watch the show at all, you can watch this particular episode
just to see
independent
what
of seeing any of the earlier episodes of the first and second seasons. You directed me in that regard, Michael, but I wanted
yes.
to enjoy it all, so I had caught up. And when he called me earlier, guys. Michael called me earlier, and I thought I was at the very end of it going, what did I just watch? What did I just watch? OMG. Just, oh my goodness. It
So
was
you
just kind
see
of
a
that.
young mother and her child take her child to a studio in
Mhm,
Atlanta, a
mhm,
television and film studio that's created by this incredible entrepreneur, showrunner, artist, director, writer, producer, actor, star extraordinaire who has managed to build a massive film and television studio in the city of Atlanta that employs just about, it looks from the show, everybody in the city. I wonder who
mhm.
that could be. I bet Medea knows who it is.
Oh my gosh.
Medea knows exactly who it is. So
So the
you
other
see, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I will say this, the other episodes that feature.
Lights up.
And, I was just trying to figure out if they was gonna make some type of transition from the 3rd season to the 4th season, because the 3rd season, they were in Amsterdam, and all of those episodes were just kind of weirded out. Now, there were some episodes that had nothing to do with Amsterdam, and they were completely separate, but everyone's back in Atlanta, and, the
The
episode that
first episode, they get lost in Atlanta, right?
yeah, that
In the
really
time
kind of
loop.
freaked me out. It was a weird time loop that I was watching, and
Mhm.
I'm sitting here going, Where is he going with this?" So as I tried to figure it out, I was thinking,
Oh,
"Don't
wow. It
think
wasn't that
don't
hard for
think
me.
linear. Don't think linear. Please don't think linear. Think out
God
of the
bless
box."
you that you've never had those experiences. Goodness knows I have in a small confined space. Oh, so and so. Well, that's your, yeah, I know. Hey, that's yours too over there. Hey, that's,
Mhm.
oh my goodness. Yeah, that was very
Yeah.
high school. Like,
So,
ooh,
uh,
I can't
so
really
all
date people and still go to class with them, huh? This is
I
hard.
know, I know. So, guys, this is our recommendation for this week. If you haven't been checking out Atlanta, and this is not for children, so let me just put that out there. Even though this
No.
is not for children, Atlanta is on FX. New episodes are showing up on Fridays, and if you miss it, it's streaming on Hulu. So that's our little promo for you.
Yeah,
Gotta see Work Ethic.
if you're interested at all, if you love or either hate Tyler Perry, you should see the Work Ethic episode, the 5th episode. It's all available on Hulu. You can even pick which ones you watch. Episode 5 has to do with the mogul from Atlanta, which has gotta be Tyler Perry, right? Then
Hmm.
there are some that deal with other institutions within the Black community, like D'Angelo,
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
Mr. Cat Williams is also part of the cast, and you get to see him in the 4th episode. at his hilarious self. So it's good. I mean, even if these aren't things that it's a different show. But I think you can appreciate the episodes this year. They're a bit more accessible than last year. Last year, it probably helped to be in Amsterdam with them to understand some of those episodes.
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, we're going to keep it moving. We have a special guest back with us from last week. She survived a hurricane. Oh my Lord, she survived a hurricane. And she survived South Central. No, she survived the South Side of
Hey,
Chicago.
we survived North Central, so that's saying something.
But we wanted to go
Naperville.
ahead. We want to go ahead and welcome back to our our show, Miss Carolyn Bowman. Michael, bring her up. Let's give her a hand.
All
Woohoo!
right, all
Carolyn!
right. Hey,
Yay! Yay!
hi,
She's
good
back.
evening. All right, good to meet you. I was not here when you were here, so welcome, and it's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
All
Oh,
right.
so we have the thing of it is that we had her on last week when it was just me and coach, and we were talking about how she survived the hurricane 'cause she's in Florida, so unfortunately Ivan made a visit in her neck of the woods.
Ian.
However,
Ian.
Ian, oh, I say
Well,
Ian. Okay,
Ivan
I'm
was here
Ivan.
too. That was my first year when it was four of them: Francis, Jean, Charlie. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, that
You
yes,
had a whole family come through. An unwelcome family coming through, just wrecking stuff, which is
oh,
what
every other
happened.
week. Every other week there was an evacuation. I'm like, I'm sick of Florida, but
Yeah,
that
you
was
still there?
yeah, I know, but I can't deal with snow and ice anymore. I can't. I'm so
Oh,
spoiled.
right.
understand. Gotcha. Yep.
So I have to say this. There are about 20 of the 34 NFL teams, only 25 teams have NFL cheerleaders. And I wanted to have Carolyn back to talk about her time as a Chicago Honey Bear. She was a cheerleader for our Chicago Bears back in the day. Tell us about your experience, Carolyn. How was it being a Chicago honey bear? That sounds cute.
It,
Go ahead.
well, it was fun. It was grueling. We rehearsed quite a bit. Um, I got to meet a lot of interesting people. My most the most satisfaction I got of it was watching Walter Payton become the legend that he wanted to be.
Mm,
You know,
sure.
having to run out of
Mm,
his way every week, and it was an honor just to be there. I mean, not everybody gets chosen into this elite group of women or men. 'Cause now they're male cheerleaders. So
Yeah, I noticed some last week. It was interesting to see.
yeah. So there
mhm.
are, in fact, one has a trans. I don't know which team it is, but yeah, there's a trans cheerleader out here now. But hey, we're progressing. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
And when you were a cheerleader, did you experience any weirdness? Because the Me Too movement just recently happened. So I don't know, was there things that happened where it was like, no, you got to keep your head down so that you would avoid getting, whatever. But
So,
how
so,
how
so
was that
Val,
experience?
Val, it sounds like you're talking about those people that have been following the NFL lately. There's been a whole issue in Washington. They're now called the
Mhm,
Commanders. That whole team is going through lots of changes, and
mhm,
certainly one of the major changes that needed to happen was they needed to have an owner separate from dealing with the young women that worked as cheerleaders and worked with that team. There was some major problems that the NFL is still trying to sort out. What was your experience like here in Chicago?
mhm.
Oh, sound.
Shit. Wait, oh, you're muted. Uh-oh, you're muted. Let's
There it
There we
go
is.
ahead.
go.
Okay,
Yep.
Mhm.
it did it
Yeah.
on its own. I don't understand. Well, let's see. As far as the Me Too movement, the closest I would say that experience was one of the fans in the stands jumped down onto one of the more well endowed girls that we were leaving the field, and the guy jumped down and basically put his hands where you think he put them. Well, security took care of him. I don't think he lasted more than
like you're there, and then this dude just
he jumped out of the stands onto the field and grabbed her chest as we were walking to the locker room.
good Lord.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Now
That's when you would need a Gary Fensick or Plank to come in and do some of the famous spearing. Which
well, he
used to
was
be
there when
allowed.
Gary Fensick and Doug Plank were the tandem duo when I first started, and yeah, he had a reputation for.
Oh yeah, it sounds like that gentleman should have been on the other end of their helmets.
Oh, I'm sure he paid the price because security beat him down. Beat him like
Oh wow.
Good.
Oh my
as
god.
well they should. You just don't jump out the stands like some kind of animal and pounce on somebody.
No, you be respectful like I was.
Yeah.
I will confess to you, I remember growing up, I had a Honey Bears poster. I remember
did?
very, very fondly, very fond memories, and I'll keep it all, PG. But it was
no.
so. I mean, I wish I still had it. I mean, that tells me you might have been on that poster, so you and I might know each other pretty well.
What is happening? What is happening right now?
I had a Honey Bears poster, and it was awesome, and it was, and at that time, just to be, and honestly, it was one of those things like anything connected to the Chicago Bears during that golden era of like. And I mean, even after the Super Bowl win, anything for like the next 5 to 10 years that was Bears was like, you got Bears stuff? It's like, yeah, I got Bears stuff. It's like, oh my goodness. And I do remember that because it was, I think it may have been, I don't know if you remember it, it may have been like a McDonald's sort of promotion. It was somebody's promotion. I do remember it, and
if it was Super Bowl time, it was long beyond my era. We were there when we were like the armpits of the NFL.
No, ma'am.
When the fans got mad.
No, Miss Bowman. The Honey Bears were never the armpits of anything.
No. The Bears were.
Okay.
You
know what? The Bears were Walter Payton and whatever quarterback could stand up straight. And that was
Vince
fine.
Evans, Mike Phipps, those were the quarterbacks that were there when I was there. And they didn't want to play Vince.
No, they
who wound up going to the Raiders and being there for a number of years.
Because he could play quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was good, but the receivers couldn't catch his balls. He threw too hard.
Yeah, they caught too softly, huh?
Yeah, well,
hey, and not to get too far afield, I was screaming at my TV on this past week watching the Bears, listening to people talk about and criticize the current quarterback Justin Fields. I'm like, he's not really throwing it in the perfect place.
He has no offensive line. He can't throw it all. Okay,
the perfect place.
The man is not supposed to dodge people. He's supposed to have a wall. We have not had that wall in quite a while.
Look, so if the receiver touches the ball with his hands, he should catch it. That's his job. So if the man throws the ball and it hits your hands, catch it. Do him a favor, because I have seen, it was in the last week, Tom Brady
here we go.
And Patrick Mahomes throw balls sort of close to a receiver, and they went out and caught it. And it was
we had a fantastic catch on Sunday, though.
Yes, Mooney had
that was a fantastic. And you know what? The whole time I was praying, please, no flag, because they kept making juvenile mistakes. And it's like, it would be a shame that this guy can never use his catch in a highlight reel because it didn't count. So fortunately, that play was able to take place.
So you were there. So you were there with Vince Evans, because I like to remind people that, the Bears were one of the early teams. They had an African-American quarterback. They just didn't really want to play him ever until everybody else got injured. and then they would bring him out. But he
Yeah.
was awesome. I,
Yeah.
I look. Hey, you say like the Bears weren't good. I can tell you they were all we had, and so we watched them, and we gave our heart and soul. We were cheering we were cheering just like you were. Like, come on, y'all can do it. Come on, come on.
But you can do
Oh,
it from the comfort of your nice warm home and not on that freezing field, because
yeah.
that AstroTurf was like ice when it got wet.
Oh
So you
gosh.
see us out there executing
Dancing?
choreography, trying not to fall.
Wow.
Again, when the fans got mad at the team, they would throw snowballs at us. So
Yeah.
we would have to like we would die
Pretend.
in the choreography to avoid
No.
being hit by snow.
That's right, and pretend like she was dodging, it was a part of the
Lean
choreography
back,
when
Yeah,
the yeah,
lean
lean
back.
back.
yeah.
Oh, and let me let you in. Mark has come up and said, Don't tell I'm a Vikings and Panthers fan, but I gotta give it to the Bears for having the beautiful cheerleaders like
Oh
you,
yeah.
Carolyn.
Oh,
Oh, we
that is
have a
so sweet. Thank
fan.
you, Mark Lee.
I know. I mean, I remember, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, they would always try to laud them, but I gotta tell you, Miss Bowman, those girls didn't look like the women that I saw in Chicago. The Honey Bears here, that was for a particular taste, and
Mhm.
certainly it was the taste that I grew up acquiring. I think
Well,
Val, I think that there may be someone
We
else
have one
joining
we
us.
we have one
Sort of,
other person,
kind
but
of.
I don't see
Don't
her
see a
face.
face yet.
I do not see
I
her
think he's
face,
coming
and
on
I think
still.
she's driving,
I think
so
that's
she
oh,
what
needs to
it is.
stop driving
oh no.
before I bring her up, because I'm not bringing her on
Hint,
stage
hint.
if she's driving. I no, I see
Safety
movement
first.
happening behind her, so
Safety.
I don't
Just
know.
she letting you know she's finding the spot. All right.
Okay,
Okay. So let me
please
let me
find a
ask a
spot. So
let me ask a slightly different question here, because you're right. This one, I never thought of that. I'm watching games, and at that time, the Raiders were in Oakland, and then briefly in LA. All that beautiful weather. You out in the cold. How did
Yeah.
how did you keep warm? What kind of things did you all have to do that probably other teams and other cheerleaders didn't have to contend with?
3 pairs of pantyhose
oh, ouch.
because our
Okay,
legs were out. We
right.
got booed when we put jackets on for the first time because, and they had
Come on.
cards in the stands that spelled out the word cleavage. We got
Are
booed.
you serious?
Yes. Yes.
That's crazy. And Mark wants to know what has been the
Completely
most difficult
understandable.
routine you remember doing?
Probably boring
Mm.
choreography because I mean it's painful to have to do. It's so elementary, but what can I
Mhm.
say?
Right,
Now
exactly.
these are now at the time being with the Honey Bears. That's something that you did on the weekend, Sunday. I assume that you all practice at some point during the
we
week
practice. We practice a
routine.
couple days a week, and then there was game day Sunday.
Okay, but
So
but but my question is this: as rich as the NFL was even then, and
Uh-oh.
certainly even more so now, this
Uh-huh.
wasn't something you could do full time, was it?
well, let's just put it this way: if there were promotions that you were allowed to go on if you were hired, because the Honey Bears were basically managed by a talent agency.
Okay.
If you had the right eye color and hair color, you got a lot of jobs.
Mm,
But if you were
Oh.
not so fortunate, you
mm-hmm,
got the crumbs they swept your way,
mm,
and
Oh
I'll
my
just,
gosh.
okay.
yeah. I was told, and I don't remember who it was, but the Bears could care less if they have black cheerleaders because their season ticket holders are white.
Oh, but their fans weren't.
Oh no, the fans were cheering for us just as loud as
That's
but
right.
that was their whole premise. Their okay, and that kind of
Ooh.
changes your attitude about things a bit. In fact, I
I
was telling Valerie that I had a promotion in Detroit, and we were dancing, and this guy, because he's trying to take a picture of the girl next to me, he says to me, "Excuse me, Nigress, can you move over to the right a little?" Now, mind you, if that had been said to me now, I don't have the filter not to go to jail. But back then, it was different. And I just had to keep executing the choreography and just act like. But there was another girl that heard it, so it wasn't my imagination. And I've heard of tigress, but never a nigga. So this was a first for me.
So he was. I guess so. He was trying to invent a new term, one that you might not be offended by.
Yeah. Well, that was offensive enough, and because it was a public event, it wasn't. This wasn't an era where they could say what they wanted to say, pretty much, and we just had to grin and bear it. Things are different now. And
so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap us, because I'm gonna now switch over and have the coaches come. Okay. I think I'm waiting for Mark. Okay, Mark just straightened up his picture. And Donna, are you?
Yes, because I'm waving furious.
Okay, all right. Let's see.
Let's try. All right,
Donna.
Oh, goodness.
Yes,
Donna, are you there?
Hey,
hi, Donna.
How are you guys doing? I was driving. Sorry.
Okay, so Donna, I'm so sorry. This is going to be short. That's fine. So Donna, who did you cheerlead for?
The Los Angeles Raiders.
And how was your experience?
Well, ours is totally different than Carolyn's, because we were accepted everywhere. It didn't matter what you looked like, where you were from, and even if not, we could get the fans booted if they did anything we didn't like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're in the Bay Area.
And were there?
I wasn't in the Bay Area. I was LA.
Oh, LA. Okay, right. Los Angeles Raiders.
Right. So so my experience, and that's awful that they would say something to you like that, on a promo. And we had every ethnicity and every height, size,
Yeah, they did.
It was really good, actually.
And Donna, I'm sorry, this is going to be my last question to you, both you and Carolyn. What are you all doing now to stay bonded? Since I feel like it's like a sisterhood of women that did cheerleading. First Carolyn, and then you, Donna.
Okay.
Well, we are now members of a nonprofit organization, the NFCAO, National Football Cheerleaders Association organization, and we recently had a reunion in Jacksonville, Florida, where over 800 cheerleaders were in attendance. And it was really a good experience to be able. In fact, I reconnected with Donna because I met Donna. Well, I tried out for the Raiders and had a good chance of making it. Quit laughing, Donna. Anyway, I had a good chance of making it, and they had a beveled floor that they had a surface on the floor that had one side that wasn't beveled, and my ankle hit it, and you could hear it from across the room. So I'm pretty sure I made Raiderette history leaving in an ambulance. And it was so funny. The guys, now they're supposed to be there tending to me, and they're too busy looking around the room. And I'm like, guys, it's my ankle. It's my ankle. So.
and Donna, what have you been doing to stay connected?
The Raiderettes have been the LA Raiderettes. We've stayed connected. We have get-togethers, parties, birthdays. There's one girl who throws a Christmas party, and we all come. We slumber, and we, have champagne, and so we stay connected this whole time. So we're pretty good with that. And now that we have the cheerleader reunion, the CAO, so we get to see everybody. Like I just reconnected with Carolyn, so it's been great.
All right, and guys, I know you guys know this gentleman. Mark, say hello to the girls.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hi, Mark May.
Hi. How are you?
All right. And really quickly, I'm going to bring on Coach. It's Coach Tony. How you doing, Coach?
What's up, Coach?
Hey, Carolyn, I got to tell you, funniest story. I think I had you guys back. So I don't know if you remember. It was a Bears game in '85. My boy, your boy, Dennis McKinnon, that's my homeboy. So I hang out with Dennis all the time. We got into a big snowball fight with the Denver Broncos fans for throwing snowballs at the Honey Bears, and we got kicked out because they thought we were throwing snowballs at the Honey Bears, and we were trying to protect y'all.
Oh, well, that was nice, yeah.
That was nice.
Man,
That was nice. I'm sorry you got ejected.
it,
Yeah,
it,
'cause,
it
a
wasn't the
lot
first
of
game.
yeah, so we want to thank Carolyn and Donna for coming and definitely sharing your experience and being a NFL cheerleader. I'm grateful that you guys have like the sisterhood and the reunions
Yeah,
and things that
yeah.
still keep happening. So I just wanted you all to say hello. And then I'm
Hi,
gonna let the men do their thing. And guys, thank you
hi,
so
guys.
much, Carolyn and
Oh,
Donna.
Yay,
yeah.
thank you. Sorry I was late. Thank you.
Oh, no
No worries.
worries.
Go
You're
Glad
Vikings.
you were here. Thank you so
Go
much.
Raiders. Bye-bye.
Go Raiders.
bye bye, guys.
Hey,
Right.
that's half my family. Yeah.
And then, just for my own, let me just do this real quick. Yeah, here we go. It's
Man,
Coach Tony time. Woo, Coach. And we got another coach, Mr. Coach Mark. Yay.
Hey,
Woo.
what's up, brother? What's up, Coach
Brother
man?
Michael, yay.
hey, it's so nice here in Chicago.
Oh man, that's good.
Always.
Another one of our Chicago
Can I
times, baby.
make
What's
a
up,
point of
Mark?
clarification?
Uh-oh. Make a clarification. Here he
Uh-oh.
goes.
Yeah. I happen to have played against Vince Evans when he was at USC.
Wow.
Our junior year, we played out there at the Coliseum. If Vince could have hit a wall with his nose pressed against us, he would have beat us by 40.
Oh.
He was horrific.
Wow. So does that explain why the Bears didn't put him in as much because they thought he was more of a backup quarterback? Because again,
um,
we had the punky
he
QB. We had the punky
okay
QB.
now, and here's the other thing about Vince. He went to the USFL here in
Right.
Chicago with the Blitz,
Correct.
Oh, I remember the Blitz.
and
Oh,
he got beat out by a nondescript guy.
really?
Yeah, just saying.
Okay. All right. That's something. You know what?
Just saying.
You know what? I hear what you're saying.
Keeping it
Coach
real.
May, but I also
You
remember
know.
the other gentleman. I say loosely that the Bears had as quarterback around that time, and I gotta tell you, I knew he could throw the ball far. I don't remember them being able to throw the ball at all either. So
Okay, but no, I'm just
you're
saying.
talking about the great
No,
Bob
it
Avellini,
wasn't.
okay? Around that time,
It
those
wasn't that
gentlemen
Vince.
are
It wasn't
not
that Vince
remembered
couldn't
for
throw.
anything.
He just could not hit his receivers. Period.
Right. Could hit the
Blank.
target. But
That's from a player standpoint. You're
Oh
a
no, that's
fan.
fine.
I'm a
Hey,
player. I played against him. I actually played with him. I was with the Blitz for a couple weeks while he was there.
okay,
Oh.
okay.
got it.
Great athlete,
Mm-hmm.
not a quarterback. He just wasn't
Okay.
a quarterback.
Okay.
Hey, like Carolyn
He
said,
got beat out for a reason, and it wasn't
yeah.
because of the melanin in his skin.
Ooh,
Hey.
the Bears had horrible
Ooh.
quarterbacks. I
Hey,
mean,
Coach, it happens like that sometimes, Coach. Kind of like what Carolyn said when you playing in Chicago at that time, we had that real turf, right? Because Minnesota was playing outside at that time, right?
Yeah, but
Exactly.
I wasn't
So,
there when Minnesota was playing outside. I wasn't outside.
okay.
good for
So
you.
the
We
Bears was
played
out there.
indoors. We
Right.
practiced indoors.
Right.
Only time I had to walk was the 50 yards from the locker room to the practice facility.
You had it good because they had snowblowers in the city, man.
Yeah, but I was around then. I was in high school.
Right.
Coach May, I want to ask you. I want to ask you something because it's continuing from 2 weeks ago, and it seems like every week there's a new wrinkle to it in the NFL. It doesn't seem like the NFL knows what to do with these quarterbacks. They don't know whether to protect them or leave them be. I mean, you got Tom Brady, man breathes on him, he gets a penalty, right? And then you have Tua, who doesn't know, you know, probably
Well,
couldn't count to
okay.
3.
And we talked about the Tua thing, and
No,
I coached
not
with
live, not
okay.
here tonight. Let's break that
I
down.
coached with a former NFLer, Kyle Prater. He was with the Saints,
I meant
and
Prater.
he said he got knocked silly like that with his fingers like that. And so if Tua had never played a down of football in his life, the way he got hit, his hands would have been like that.
Correct.
That wasn't necessarily a factor of a second concussion. That was just a hell of a hit.
Right. It was a body slam.
And what people have to understand is football is a violent sport.
Right.
I'm not sure, Coach. I saw Tom Brady play. It didn't seem very violent to me.
Right. It wasn't. And this is
15
the
yards.
referees. Just hold on. This is the referees and the league, you know, trying to respond to everybody crying, you sent Tua out there to die. So now the pendulum swings to overprotect. And so are you going to cry about the fact that Tua got hit hard, or are you going to cry about the fact that Tom Brady just got set down with a pillow and a blanket?
Well,
you can't have it both ways. You can't say that the league doesn't take care of the quarterbacks and then get mad when the league takes care of the quarterbacks.
Well, you got to look at it a couple of ways, Coach. I can compare it in a couple of ways. One, they always talked about Jordan got the calls early, which came out with Detroit Pistons with the Jordan rules of him getting put on his butt, and the Knicks followed up. So I know Mike mentioned about Tom Brady, but once again, he's the Jordan of the NFL. So when you're looking at those referees, who they're going to protect and who they're not going to protect.
You got to keep it in context, Coach. You got to keep it in context. 1 week, they're getting blazed because they're sending the guy out there. And as we talked off camera, now we can talk about it now. The players' union demanded that there be an independent arbitrator to determine if a player goes out there or not, not the league. So the players' union wanted to make sure that it wasn't the team forcing the player out there. So the person that said Tua was cool to go was the independent guy that the players' union selected. And that's why the players' union fired his ass.
Right.
It wasn't the coach that said you got to go out there.
But
coach, you know yourself. You're going to go out on that field.
Exactly.
Even if you get in, you're going to go back in that field.
Let's bring it in. Exactly. So Coach, we were before, as you said, before we got started, we were talking about people getting hits and wanting to stay in games. And I got knocked up under the bench in Tampa. Up under the bench. Only my feet sticking out.
Underneath the bench. That's a visual now. That's a real visual for me.
I'm going up on the sidelines. Got my hand up, about to catch a pass. Marcus Quinn launched from the numbers and flew and earholed me. I went flying from inbounds across the sidelines, up under the bench at the old sombrero.
And we gonna step on you too.
They gave me my smelling salts, and I went back in the game.
And we gonna step on you while y'all are.
That was my choice.
Yeah,
right. Well,
that was different rules.
But Coach, looking back on that now, do you think that was a good choice?
Yeah.
Why?
Here it is. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do it all over again. At Purdue, I got hit by a safety in practice, and I look up, and I don't see blue, I see green. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Come straight down on my head. I am out, and I came back and played in camp with the Chicago Blitz. Greg Landry throws me a pass behind me. Luther Bradley has a combo coverage on me. If the tight end takes an inside release, the free safety has me. Luther's the free safety. Smacked the shit out of me. I was out cold. The trainer comes over to me. What day is it? It's the middle of training camp. And I told him, I said, why don't you ask me something easy like how far up is? It's the it's the
Right.
next day. It's training camp. And you play because it's what you love to do.
Okay,
Correct.
I'm not saying that you don't love to do it, but at this point, all of the evidence has come in. So I appreciate what you're saying, because I think it's an honesty that people are not inclined to listen to anymore. And they think that people are different, but they're not. They want to play. They want to do their
But
job.
you really want to
This is
play.
what you want, right? So
This is who I am.
that's why you need the NFLPA out there to tell you, Coach May, sit your butt down. We will take care of you, because you at that point are not intelligent enough to take care of yourself.
Whoa, we're gonna be time out.
You are in the
Time
heat of
out.
battle right now.
Time out.
You are all about winning. You are in the
36
same
on the
mindset of
Wonderlic
those
test
stupid
here.
fans.
36 on the Wonderlic test here. Don't talk about my
Oh,
intelligence.
no. I'm not I'm talking about situationally.
No,
I'm talking
you
about
said
at
I
that
wasn't
point-
too intelligent, and I'm gonna take.
I'm talking
umbrage
about
with
at that point in time.
You need to change. You need to change that statement.
If you
Oh.
don't know that your
You
brain
need to change
and your
that statement.
life is more
You're
important
saying
than
that
the
I'm not
next play
intelligent?
on a Coach, if you don't know that your brain and your life is more important than the next play on a football field, then right now, at that point in time, you got shook up.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
I know you're smart.
You've
I know
never.
you're smarter than that.
Okay, no, okay. Just wait, Mr. Fan.
I'll own that. I'll own that. I'm
Wait, Carolyn.
Hit the brakes.
I'm the person telling him to get up.
Break that.
I know I'm wrong. Because I'm the
I
idiot
know.
telling them to get up. And they need to stay down. You need to
Carolyn,
stay down.
you want to come in?
No,
You want to come in? She's over here
there's
cracking
no way
up.
you should put your brain at risk.
I'm
Carolyn,
just
he's up there
laughing.
calling me. He says I'm not intelligent.
I'm
Well,
telling
I've
you,
heard it.
Between
well
stops
wrong.
in football, I did cancer research.
I'm talking about when you
I
get
did
hit.
cancer research.
I'm talking about
Memory
when you shake up
tumors,
your
lung
brain and
tumors.
ask you.
I'm doing surgery on mice, and I'm not intelligent enough.
You weren't at that time to sit down and not go back in that game.
I did that before because.
Uh-oh. Mark, come back. Okay, Mark, he's back.
He's back.
Coach is back.
Listen,
Okay, great. I got scared.
No. I want to hear this. I want to hear that.
No, I don't want to hear anybody tell me that I'm not intelligent.
How would you describe it that you
I scored a 36 on the one.
How would
you take the Wonderlic.
Michael, let him talk.
Take the Wonderlic. Go ahead and take it.
Okay.
And I bet you're down around Vince Young territory.
Oh, okay. All right. So I am not doubting your intelligence at this moment.
I'm Ryan Fitzpatrick. You're Vince Young. I will not have anybody say.
All right, he's not listening.
My intelligence.
Now he's not listening. His ego got hurt. That's fine. You're not listening to me because you don't understand.
No, my ego isn't hurt because I'm I know what I am.
Good. Okay. Good. So you know that if your
checker Fred play checker.
No.
Checker Fred play checker.
Hey, Val.
Okay.
Val,
Coach, can you tap in here real quick? Tap in here, Tony.
Mike, I love you, but I'm about to agree with Coach. I love you. I'm about to agree with Coach. But here's the thing.
This is why that's why I got to be here, because we get athletes in and they just lose their mind. If you have your brain, Coach Tony, if your brain is in danger, you going back out there too?
No, listen to me. You wouldn't feel that way if you were playing with Coach back in the 80s. And we didn't have the technology, nor do we have the doctors, nor do we have no different than when I played and I got hit, at school, different things. You didn't have that technology. You didn't have the NFL stepping in, telling Coach May and these guys, that was a situation. You know how many times Walter Payton jumped over a pile for a touchdown on top of his
It
head?
fell on his
So,
head
Yeah.
exactly. So his coach was
all the
saying,
time.
But that wasn't
exactly,
my
all
question.
the time. It became a
Perhaps he
famous
didn't.
leap at
Perhaps my
the
question was
2 yard
not
line.
clearly stated. Perhaps
I
my
got you.
question was not clearly stated.
So what I'm saying is if this was today's time and he made that decision not to go in or he went back in, then I would say Mike, you was right. But in the
That's
80s,
what I
when
asked. That's the
when
question
Coach
I
played,
asked.
when
I
Coach
asked
played in
Coach
the
K,
80s,
will he go back in now? And
it
he
was
said
it
yes.
wasn't about
I wouldn't have had the
that
option to go back in now.
back in the day. It was about toughness, and like Coach said, it was about
Right
toughness.
now,
So
now
either you suck it
So
up
after I
or
Coach
you
got
get
May,
knocked
back
up
Coach
in.
under the
May,
bench in Tampa, they
Coach
would
May,
not
you
have let me back
misunderstood
in.
my question. You
They
misunderstood
would
my
not have let
question.
me back
I
in.
said it clearly. I said my question clearly. You misunderstood what I said then. I said
Well,
right
because
now,
I
would
was
you
so
go
stuck on
back
the
in
part that
right
when you
now?
said that I wasn't intelligent
That
enough,
was
and
after
that
you
kind
told me that right now
that
you go
that
back in the
set me off.
game.
That set
You
me off.
told me you would go back in the game now today, knowing what we know.
I
That was
did.
my question.
Knowing what I know, I would still do. I would
Go
still
back in the
play.
game.
I would still play.
And the only thing I'm saying, Mike, is I was agree with him. I'm a basketball player. There's no way in the world I'll go up for try to dunk on somebody. You put me on my ass. I come off, hit my head on the floor. I just had a game tonight. I just walked off the floor tonight. I took an ass whooping tonight. But I had a young lady tonight that got hit. It stopped the game for 2 or 3 minutes. She got taken out of the air. She came down on the floor, tried to brace herself, hit the floor. The athletic director checked her out, and 2 minutes later, she grabbed me on the sideline and said, "Coach, I'm ready to go back in the game." And I said, "No, we're going to hold you out. There's no need for you to go back in." But you know what? Like Coach said, it was the athlete in her wanting to get back on that floor. No different than if it was me. Because one, you don't want to show that you're weak, and two, you want to show that you're tough. And so, and coach's error during a time of clothesline, dirty hits, tackling below, after the whistle, put him under the bench on the sideline, I can see why he would go back in that game. And if
I
it
was
was
a little
today,
kid.
Mike,
I was cheering it out. I thought it was awesome.
but
I thought every
today,
time the plank hit
but
somebody in
today,
the chest, it caved in their
They wouldn't have
chest.
let me back
yeah,
in.
but today they're
They
not
Exactly.
wouldn't
going
have
back
let
But
in
me
the
that was
back
game,
in
Mike.
awesome. I was
But
a
they're not
kid.
going
I
back in
thought it
the
was
game
awesome.
today because of the agent. It's the
because they
agent.
won't let me.
It ain't even coach. It's the agent.
Thank God.
Yeah, it is. It's the agent. If I'm coach agent, I'm telling coach, you're not going back in that game because I'm your agent and I got
Thank
to get
God.
paid. Exactly. I don't care
Thank
what
God
the
for an
NFL
agent
says. I'm
and
Coach
a
May's
PA.
agent, and the agent's not going to let him back on that field. The agent.
Okay.
Well, the agent won't
I
ever
saw
say
Jay
so, but the
Cutler walk
doctors
through.
wouldn't have. The doctors, just hold on. The way that they have the protocol set up now, the doctors would not have let me back in.
That's
And
what I
that's why the
thought.
doctor got fired. That's
Ultimately,
why he got fired.
He got
and
fired
my
because he let the guy back in.
Correct.
I was out cold, so he would not have let me back in.
Thank goodness.
So it wouldn't be up to my choice, and that's why the league, that's why the players union has the independent guy, because they know the players aren't going to say don't let me back in. They're going to go back in.
Absolutely.
And the
I
team
agree.
are going to say, are going to try and win. So they don't have a say. That's why it's an independent guy. What I'm saying is, you asked me if I would do it, I would do it as a player. I would not be allowed to do it because they have things in place to keep that from happening.
Protocols, yeah. And let me ask you this, Coach Mark, because this is something that I wanted to make sure that I pointed out. I'm glad, Coach Tony, you shared about you being a coach, because right now, Mark, you coach a football team now.
Right.
So
I
what
wouldn't
are
let
the
the player
things?
back in myself as a
Okay.
coach.
Okay.
And
Okay. This is something I want to know.
I have set players out. We had a
Okay.
setup at St. Lawrence where one of the players said, this guy, he's not right. And so I went and talked to him and said, yeah, you're right. And I said, you're not going back in. But that's me as an adult coach,
right,
performing, control.
And actually,
his
coach,
ego.
That's you as a more informed coach, not so much as a control coach. That's you as a more informed coach about concussion protocol.
Yeah, but these are
I've
adult
been
players in the NFL.
I've actually been a part of the Concussion Coalition of Chicago. I work with Chris Nowinski, who works at Boston University, where they collect the brains and stuff like that. And so, no, I've been through all of that. I actually know more about concussions than probably anybody on this panel.
10 times.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't go back
been more concussed than anybody on this panel myself.
I would agree too.
Well, Coach, that's the reason why it was fun. We were talking about it, and I'll let my audience know. Me and Coach Mark were talking about this literally earlier, and I know last week we had Coach Tony and another wonderful guest on that talked about his player time. But it's just as I see the bud. He just said a friendly observation. It was the passion of the game, the passion of whatever the game is. Basketball, football. It's a competitive sport. Carolyn, what did you want to say on this?
Mark is definitely concussed. I've known him a long time.
Oh my gosh.
I would testify.
Hey, Carolyn, don't be on snitching. You know, snitching get some stitches, so don't be snitching.
No. She gonna get me paid.
Oh, gosh.
I want my fee.
And Coach Mark is here because of Carolyn. I want to honestly thank both of you for coming back. And
it was a
please.
pleasure.
Coach Mark, please come back. Because
always.
I appreciate
Mike,
for me and my 4 on the Wonder Lick. I appreciate my 4 on the Wonder Lick. Yeah. I'm right around Michael Vick territory, probably. I appreciate you taking questions.
I don't know what Michael Vick scored, but I think Vince Young was at 11, maybe.
Lower,
11 would
lower
be too
for
much
Vic.
for Vic.
Vic a little bit lower. I was
Vic
down
was
there
a little bit lower.
So we want to thank.
I had to take the Wonderlic for football, and then I also got in the DePaul career computer program, and they gave the same damn test.
Coach me, I would never. I am not questioning your intelligence. I'm talking about at that moment, your passion to the game should not have overruled your intelligent, magnificent brain. And I just want to protect it. That's all I want to do. I want to keep it safe.
Oh, let me just say one more thing.
Okay.
When I was a freshman at Purdue, the first game I dressed for, the last home game of the season, we're playing Michigan. And so you're coming down the ramp, the sun is shining, the band is playing the fight song, 67,000 people in Ross-Ade Stadium are cheering.
Wow.
Run across the field and do that and try and think of trying to do anything else in your life. There's no high ever better than that. And that kind of what drives me. That drives the passion. I knew at that point I got to find a way to get paid to do this shit.
Right. Exactly. And that's why you brought your ass back in that game.
Yes. You want to do it for as long as you can.
All right, God. Coach Mark and Carolyn, thank you so much for joining us for the platform. We really appreciate it. He jumped off again. Okay, he's back. Okay, thank you, Coach. And thank you, Carolyn. And
it's my janky Wi-Fi.
Thank you.
It's probably concussed.
You got to call them janky promoter.
Oh, no.
Call them janky promoter. Well, Ice Cube had them janky promoters, M&M.
Oh my gosh. Carolyn and Mark, please come back. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh boy.
Coach. Michael.
Gotta go find that copy of the Wonderlet. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hey, I thought he's gonna
earn my 4. I'm gonna earn my 4.
Hey, I thought he's gonna run up on you like Draymond Green did Poole, man.
Wait, oh!
I know. There it is. There
Right.
it is.
Hold on. Take the phone on too. Take the phone on, Mike. Take the phone.
Oh,
Oh, my
Coach,
goodness.
as we say good night to you. I think you and me, we should work on a charity, maybe charity boxing match, Draymond versus Will Smith. I got my
Yeah.
money on Mr. Green.
I'm taking
Oh,
green because we
God.
ain't smacking in this bitch. We pa.
Yeah, that's a real hit there.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Coach.
Hey, and you know my word. Oh, real quick before I get out of here. 2 weeks, Val, for promotional purposes only. I'm 7-3. Went 3-2 this weekend. I lost the Denver game, sucked because me and Mike was talking, and I lost the freaking Green Bay Packers game, which is cool
Oh
for
my
the best.
God, you do. Can you jump off of Russell Wilson, please? Did you see how
No.
apoplectic? Oh my goodness, on the Amazon broadcast, I thought he was gonna go get him and shake him.
Would he go home and hang out with Sierra? Just go hang out with Sierra. That's all I ask.
All right.
Oh my
Lord have
goodness.
mercy.
All right.
And
And then
we'll
Coach
see you
is
next
gonna
week.
break down the NBA next week. Next week will
Next
start.
week,
NBA is
hey,
coming.
hey, Mark, hey, Greg, all you got, don't meet me there. Jay Wise, don't meet me there. Beat me there. We're going to talk NBA. I'm going to come on early
NBA.
next week. Coming on early next week so we can put some time in this so y'all can get y'all promotional purposes for the year for fantasy together. But
And you see what Mr. Springer said. Hashtag Janky Promoters. Janky
Janky
Promoters.
promoters, baby. Hey, I don't need to call Ice Cube and Elf, baby. Me and Mike Wamble are Janky promoters. We Janky promoters up in here. Hey, and Mike, I love that hat. Boy, I got the same one. I'm gonna bring the old school hat out like that to show the 6 rings, because we never won 7. Hello.
Here we go. Here we
Nice
go.
to see
All
you.
right. And we'll
Hey,
talk
Nice
to
to see
Coach
you.
next week. We'll see you
hey,
next week, Coach.
and you know my words. And I'm out.
And he's out. There he goes.
Yes.
Woohoo!
All right. And
uh,
tomorrow, hashtag
what is-
WW, just to throw this in real quick, we're going to talk about the one, the only Mr. White Lives Matter, Kanye West. All right. That's
Oh,
tomorrow.
my
Hashtag.
goodness. Oh my goodness. So what are you going to be talking about hashtag Wamble Wednesday? What is going to be happening?
Well, Mr. White Lives Matter, Kanye West.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
You saw the shirt?
I wanted to mention that earlier, but I figured that
Oh, no,
we
no,
could have
no.
just did
I
we could have
got it.
just did a whole
I got
show
it
on
all.
that. You
I
got
got
it.
it
You
all
got it
wrapped up.
tomorrow.
We about to break
Got
it
it.
down, buddy.
We got it tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
And what I'm excited I want to invite everyone to the Brown Sugar Cafe. I want everyone to come to the Brown Sugar Cafe. And that is our latest episode on tomorrow. I'll be talking with podcaster and poet and author Terrence P. Elmore. He is a fellow podcaster. Great mic. So we sounded great. My mic sounds nice. And so he will be our latest audio podcast, releasing tomorrow, letting you all know about what's happening in the Brown Sugar Cafe. I just like saying that. I'm so sorry. And thank you so much, Mr. Springer. He's going to be talking about Ye, or AKA Kanye, and the White Lives. Lord have mercy.
AKA Kanye.
He just needs to stay on his meds. Okay. And Michael, what's your name?
My name is not Val the Voice Johnson, but yours is, and this has been Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesday with Val the Voice Johnson.
So much for joining us. We are available on our YouTube channel, our Facebook group, and we are now, thank you, Mark Lee, we are streaming on Pod TV. Join us. And if you want more information to become a sponsor, Mr. Springer will put it in the chat. Let us know at linktr.ee/Pure Light Media. We'll be back next week for another action-packed Talk on Tuesdays. Peace. Here we go.